Modern homes are getting flashier every year, but not necessarily smarter. Builders chase trends, influencers push aesthetics, and homeowners end up with spaces that photograph beautifully, but function terribly. After 15 years in construction and design, I've seen exactly which so-called upgrades turn into daily regrets once the novelty wears off. So in this video, we're counting down 10 terrible home features you'll regret in 2025 and how to avoid them, day to the end, because the last one quietly kills comfort and resale value in one shot. Coming at number 10, all-white, high-gloss kitchens. People fall for this one because it screams luxury on Instagram. Clean lines, bright light, and that showroom shine, it feels expensive at first glance. But reality sets in fast. Every fingerprint, coffee splash, and crumb stands out like it's under a spotlight. What looked polished in the listing becomes a full-time job to maintain once you actually live in it. The problem isn't just about cleaning. All-white, high-gloss finishes create a sterile atmosphere that reflects glare from every direction. It washes out warmth and makes spaces feel more like hospital break rooms than homes. And if you live somewhere with heavy sunlight or dust, expect to see every imperfection exaggerated. I once had a client who insisted on glossy white cabinets from wall to wall. Within months, the soft closed doors started showing tiny hairline scratches, and the island became a magnet for smudges. It took more effort to keep clean than to cook dinner. Eventually, they asked me to repaint the lower cabinets in a warm grayish just to hide daily wear. If you love the bright look, there's an easy fix. Go for matte or satin finishes, not gloss. Pair warm whites with light taupe or soft oak tones to add depth and dimension. Keep the upper cabinets neutral, and let the backsplash or hardware bring personality. The goal is to make your kitchen feel lived in, not like it's waiting for a photo shoot. All right, let's keep it moving. The next one is a dust magnet in disguise. Number 9, open shelving overload. Open shelves look amazing in design photos, airy, minimalist, and perfectly staged with matching jars and greenery. That's why homeowners love them. They promise space and personality in one clean swoop. But once real life kicks in, they become the fastest way to turn your kitchen into a dust collection zone. Every plate, cup, and spice jar becomes part of your daily maintenance routine. The real issue isn't just dust, it's grease. Kitchens naturally produce oil particles that settle everywhere, especially near the range. Combine that with steam from cooking, and those open shelves become sticky traps that make weekly deep cleaning unavoidable. A quick wipe turns into a chore that steals your Sunday afternoons. One homeowner I worked with swapped their upper cabinets for full-length open shelving to lighten up the room. Within 6 months, they called me back. Their decorative mugs turned yellow from exposure, and the lower shelves looked cluttered no matter how neatly arranged. We ended up reinstalling partial cabinetry, and instantly the space looked calmer and cleaner. If you love the look, balance is key. Mix 70% closed storage with 30% display, ideally glass front cabinets with interior lighting or one dedicated open shelf for frequently used items. Keep it away from the stove and use washable materials like sealed wood or metal. You get the open aesthetic without the constant scrubbing. But the next one looks stylish but secretly kills your privacy. Would you ever trade your cabinets for open shelves, or is that just an influencer fantasy? If you had to pick one, dust or clutter, which would you rather deal with? Leave your comments. Number 8, barn doors on bedrooms and bathrooms. Barn doors became the ultimate modern farmhouse flex, space-saving, trendy, and undeniably photogenic. They glide along a rail, look clean in open concept homes, and feel rustic yet stylish. But once installed, most homeowners realize they're a privacy nightmare in disguise. The first issue is gaps. Barn doors don't seal, light leaks through, sound travels easily, and drafts sneak around the edges. Try using one on a bathroom, and you'll hear every splash and conversation. They're also bulky. The wall space they need for sliding means you can't hang art, switches, or shelves nearby. And while they look light, those doors can weigh over 100 pounds, which makes them tough on older walls and hardware. One family I worked with swapped their hallway bathroom door for a sliding barn design to open up space. Within weeks, they regretted it. Guests complained about noise, and the kids' bedtime routine became a soundtrack for the entire house. Eventually, they replaced it with a pocket door, gaining the same space-saving benefit without the awkward acoustics. If you're after a clean, modern look, pocket doors or soft-close swing doors are your best bet. They keep things quiet, secure, and sleek. No bulky tracks, no exposed gaps, no sound drama. Add modern handles or frosted glass for the same designer vibe without the daily inconvenience. Even if your floor plan swears by farmhouse charm, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button right now, because trust me, you'll want to save this one before you end up installing a barn door that keeps neither noise nor privacy out. The next feature looks beautiful too, until you actually try using it every day. Coming next at number 7, vessel sinks in small bathrooms. At first glance, vessel sinks look boutique and expensive, like something out of a spa resort or luxury hotel. Homeowners love that sculptural look, and designers use it to add height or drama to otherwise plain vanities. But the moment you actually start using one daily, the problems reveal themselves fast. Vessel sinks sit on top of the counter, which raises their rims several inches higher than a standard sink. That means splashing water over the edge, awkward hand-washing angles, and faucet handles you can barely reach without bending sideways. The extra exposed surface also collects toothpaste drips and soap scum along the base, turning your morning routine into a constant cleanup cycle. I once helped a client remodel their powder room after they installed a stylish glass bowl sink. It looked incredible for the first few weeks, then water stains appeared, and guests complained about splashing everywhere. We replaced it with a semi-recessed undermount, instantly solving the mess while keeping the elegant shape they liked. If you still want that elevated sculptural feel, go for semi-recessed or integrated sinks. They keep the graceful design but drop lower into the counter to control splash. Pair with a front-facing faucet and backsplash at least 8 inches tall to minimize cleanup. You'll get the high-end look without the high-maintenance headaches. And just wait, the next design choice looks sleek on paper, but will have you wiping down surfaces way more than you ever expected. Number 6. Matte black fixtures everywhere. Matte black hardware took over social media feeds for a reason. It looks bold, modern, and instantly elevates a space. Paired with white quartz and brass accents, it photographs like a dream. But in real life, that dream quickly turns high maintenance. Every drop of water, fingerprint, and speck of dust shows up instantly. If you live in a hard water area, expect permanent gray spotting within weeks. And unlike polished chrome, matte coatings are often thin and prone to chipping over time. The biggest problem? Longevity. That sleek black faucet or shower head might look great for a year, then fade, flake, or corrode at the joints. I once helped a homeowner replace an entire set of matte black fixtures in less than 2 years, not because they stopped working, but because they looked dirty all the time no matter how much they cleaned. If you love contrast, don't ditch the idea, just shift where you use it. Keep black for light fixtures, mirrors, or cabinet pulls, where wear and water don't touch. For faucets and showers, pick brushed nickel, gunmetal, or PVD-coated stainless steel. All give a modern feel with far less upkeep. Add texture and contrast through materials, not coatings that demand constant polishing. The truth is, style should never require this much effort. The next trend on our list looks just as impressive, until you realize it's making your home louder, colder, and far more expensive to heat or cool. Number 5. 2-story foyers and great rooms. Everyone loves that first wow moment, walking through the door and seeing a soaring ceiling with sunlight pouring in. 2-story foyers were built for that exact reaction. They make homes feel larger, brighter, and more expensive at first glance. But once you live with one, reality hits. All that empty vertical space becomes an energy nightmare. Heat rises, cold air sinks, and your HVAC system works overtime trying to balance it out. You'll spend more just to stay comfortable. Then there's the noise. Everything echoes. Conversations, footsteps, even the TV from upstairs carry across the entire house. Cleaning and maintenance? Forget it. You'll need scaffolding just to dust the chandelier or repaint the trim. I once visited a homeowner who loved their open foyer until they realized how impossible it was to decorate. Every wall felt too tall for art. Every light bulb change required a ladder. They eventually had us add a partial loft over the entry, gaining a bonus room and cutting their energy bill by almost 20%. If you already have one, add acoustic panels, ceiling fans, and layered lighting to improve comfort. But if you're building or remodeling, consider 9 to 10-foot ceilings instead of full double height. You'll still get a grand feel without wasting heat or space. And while we're on the subject of impressive but impractical, the next feature promises convenience, until you realize it's running your life instead of simplifying it. Would you rather have a dramatic entryway or a cozy, quiet one? Leave your comment below. Next, number 4. Smart home overload. Smart homes promise effortless living, lights that dim automatically, thermostats that learn your habits, and locks you can control from your phone. It sounds futuristic and convenient, and that's why homeowners go all in. But here's the catch. The more devices you add, the more fragile your system becomes. When everything depends on Wi-Fi, one glitch takes down your entire routine. You're left waving your arms in the dark while your smart lights wait for a firmware update. And those subscription-based platforms? They quietly stack up costs each month just to keep basic features running. I've seen clients with 5 different apps, one for the doorbell, one for cameras, one for lights, one for HVAC, and one for the sprinklers, all fighting for control. The biggest headache comes when tech ages. Unlike your plumbing or wiring, smart gear becomes outdated in a few years. I once worked with a homeowner whose expensive hub system stopped getting updates, leaving their connected blinds permanently stuck halfway open. It's the digital version of buying a car you can't refuel. The fix is simple. Streamline your ecosystem. Choose one universal platform, preferably one that supports Matter or Thread compatibility, and keep critical systems like locks, HVAC, and lighting on hardwired or manual overrides. Treat automation as an assistant, not a dependency. And if you think that's frustrating, the next feature looks trendy in every new build photo, but it's aging faster than the paint on your front door. Number 3, slat walls and loud statement surfaces. Design magazines make slat walls and heavy feature textures look incredible. Warm wood tones, shadow lines, depth. It's why builders love to include them in model homes. But here's what they don't tell you. These surfaces collect dust like nothing else, and they date faster than almost any other trend. The grooves trap grime, and cleaning between each slat takes more patience than anyone realistically has. Visually, slat walls dominate a room. They fight with artwork, lighting, and even furniture. The same goes for overly patterned tile or bold wallpaper that spans entire walls. They look great on Pinterest but turn chaotic when you start living around them. One client of mine covered their living room in fluted wood panels after seeing it online. A year later, they were over it. The space felt noisy, impossible to style, and constantly dusty. We refinished half the wall in matte paint and left one accent panel. Suddenly the room looked modern again. The simple fix? Keep your textures strategic. Use fluted or slatted panels sparingly, like behind a TV or as a single focal strip. Stick to paintable trims or large format panels if you want depth without maintenance. And remember, permanent finishes should whisper, not shout, because if there's one thing harder than cleaning a slat wall, it's living with one after the trend fades. And speaking of trends that fade fast, the next one shines bright, leaks often, and might just cook your living room by noon. The runner-up, skylights and glass roofs in hot or wet climates. Skylights seem like a dream upgrade, flooding your home with natural light, connecting you to the outdoors, and adding instant architectural drama. It's the kind of feature that makes listings pop and visitors say, wow. But live with one for a few seasons, and that wow turns into, why did I do this? The main problem is climate. In hot regions, skylights trap heat like greenhouses, turning rooms into saunas by mid-afternoon. In colder zones, condensation builds up around the frame, causing slow leaks or mold growth that hides until it's too late. Glass roofs are even worse. The glare alone can make your living space feel unlivable without constant shading. And if you've ever tried cleaning one, you know it's an acrobat's job just to remove dust or bird droppings. I once worked on a remodel where the owner insisted on a massive kitchen skylight. It looked spectacular until summer hit. Then the air conditioner never stopped running. Within a year, the drywall edges started bubbling from trapped moisture. We eventually replaced it with clerestory windows that brought in the same light without the heat or mess. If you want that bright, open feeling, go for solar tubes, clerestory windows, or overhang-protected glazing. They deliver daylight without the constant battle against temperature swings. Choose low-E double-pane glass with built-in shades if you must have one. Because as it turns out, the best way to invite sunlight in is knowing exactly where not to. And that brings us to the final regret, the one that quietly wrecks both comfort and flow. And finally, the most terrible one for us, oversized kitchen islands. The oversized island trend isn't slowing down. Every new build seems to flaunt one the size of a parking space. They photograph beautifully and promise gathering space or chef-level prep zones. But once you start cooking, walking, or trying to host, you realize that massive island is less centerpiece and more obstacle course. The problem starts with scale. When the island gets too wide, you can't reach the center to clean or serve. When it's too long, you block key kitchen zones, especially the path between the sink, stove, and fridge. That triangle becomes a marathon. Add stools, and now you're squeezing sideways just to open drawers or walk behind guests. Two island kitchens double the issue, dividing space that should flow naturally. I once redesigned a home where the island stretched over 11 feet, leaving only 36 inches of walkway. It looked stunning, but forced the owners to shuffle around each other every morning. We cut it down by 2 feet and widened the aisles. Instantly, the kitchen felt twice as usable. The smarter approach? Form follows function. Keep aisles 42-48 inches wide, counter depth 24 to 30 inches, and leave room for knees under seating. If you need more prep area, add a movable butcher block or peninsula instead of a monolith. Because a kitchen isn't meant to be admired from a distance, it's meant to be lived in. And sometimes, the most luxurious design choice is simply one that works every single day. If you spotted any of these features in your own home, don't stress. Most of them have simple, affordable fixes that make a huge difference fast. Drop your thoughts below, share your own home regret stories, and let's turn them into smarter ideas for part 2. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.